It's official. We got to talk about the Summer League roster for the Sixers now that it is announced, and we got games to watch this week. What's going on, everybody? Christian Pedersen back with another episode of Sixers Digest, the show that is putting aside just absolutely horrendous LeBron trade rumors for Anthony Davis and et cetera, to talk about some real, actual, quantifiable Sixers basketball right now. We got the full roster finally being announced after a couple of signings and draft picks being sort of linked to the Summer League team. So without further ado, let me call it up for you here. It is the Summer League is something that I love but hate at the same time. I don't want to be super disrespectful to all of the guys who are living out their NBA dreams and on this list and fighting for a spot and all that kind of stuff. But at least for the sake of like right now, I think that the last 2 weeks have changed my level of interest in this even more, given that going into this summer, I was interested in what Lebron Philon can do in terms of like really putting together a good rookie campaign, and that there was a possibility that it was going to be, let's just run it back with Oubre and Grimes and Paul George, and we were in kind of this weird sort of maybe we're a play-in team vibe. So I was hoping for watching some basketball, trying to figure out, who can actually be a few diamonds in the rough, real type of contributors. Instead, now we are Vegas favorites to be one of the best teams, given the decision to trade Paul George for Lebron Philon, bring in Dean Wade, Anthony Simons. Like, this is a really different situation and scenario. So for me, there is certainly some questions to be asked about all this. Before we get to the questions, got to say a really quick thank you to our sponsor for this video, Prize Picks, America's #1 sports pick app. And if you do use the code DIGEST right now when you're signing up, they'll hook you up with $50 when you play your first 5. Okay, I got 3 names then that for me are the focus out of this whole roster. Obviously, Lebron Philon is still going to be this, for me, the main focus. I think that there is a route in which he can grow into both an immediately contributing player and a very high ceiling type of long-term star for us. Johni Broome is the only repeat player, and I think that there's room for discussion of, did he have a disappointing rookie campaign and how much can he grow? And then finally, we are all seemingly in agreement that there is a need for a big man. So Isaac Johnson, a.k.a. the Big Fish from Hawaii, that second to last name on the right-hand column there is the third person that, at least for like initially right now, I'm interested in. Obviously, I will watch all the highlights. I probably have the game on in the background. I in the level of things that I really care about right now in terms of like, gotta spend my time on the Sixers dedicated to digesting them. I think just some of this is like, I want to watch the highlights. Show me the positive plays and leave the rest of it to the coaches and the paid professionals to do in the film situations. So going up and down that list, let's, for me, break down. What do you say we start with a little Lebron Philon, or let's start with Johni Broome. That's the next graphic I got. Apologies, I was filibustering for time there after having mislabeled my graphics. Sean's the primary host. I'm trying. Disappointing, vaguely disappointing. Kind of what I had said. He did okay in the G League, and sometimes there is just a need for guys to develop. But he was a really highly acclaimed college basketball player, and is the only second-year person on this team. So I just kind of think that maybe the expectations are that it's time to watch the jump happen. And given my initial assessment of being like, these aren't really the most impactful, high-stress, like, you really got to care about every nitty-gritty possession type of games, I get that maybe that's not like the craziest fire in which to forge some of these weapons, but Broome getting out there and having a really good summer, I think, can go a long way towards repairing that rocky road of that first year and giving us somebody who, yes, we're looking to fill the last couple rotational bench spots, but some of you guys have mentioned in the comment section is sometimes you just also need bodies to be able to fill space during the lengths of this season. And if it's shuttling up and down from the G League, or if it's being on the bench, but being somebody who, hey, like, normally you give us X number of minutes, but on that one random Tuesday in the middle of the season, you gave us 3 times that, and you helped somebody else. You helped one of the main guys rest, recover, rebuild while this whole thing was cooking. You get what I'm saying. Number 2, my question with Lebron Philon. He mentioned this there are a bunch of different sound bites. I think this was off of Sixers Wire where I grabbed this, but he discusses how one of his biggest traits that he feels like he brings to the game is the ease with that he makes it easy for everybody else. And that obviously he knows how to score, but just working on his footwork, things like providing and setting up for his teammates. He seems to, I think, understand that his role potentially this first season could be just to help be a good facilitator who keeps people honest with his ability to score. And not that he's necessarily going to be offensive option number 1. He's a guy who in his rookie, it's kind of semi-pro anyway, but in his freshman year at Alabama, Philon showed a ton of ability to defend well and shifted more towards the scoring in his second season as he became a little bit more of like the centerpiece star, if you will. But I would like to see his ball management, assists, and defense. And I think that he has, at least from all the generic soundbite opportunities that I have seen, he's given very good press conferences and seems to have his head on straight and doesn't seem like a huge red flaggy, like superstar kind of issues guy. So I would think that he is somebody who can rise to the occasion. And if we can get a guy, if he's got, I know I'm kind of tripping over my words here, but I got a lot of just positive thoughts going through my brain about what could be the potential. If he's obviously got just the intrinsic capability to score, he's got a good shot, he's got a feel for it, he wouldn't be scoring a bunch of points in the NCAA if he didn't. And so to then be like, hey, instead of this being something where for your rookie year, we're trying to kind of force you in here and say, hey, look, this old guard ain't working, but we don't really have a way to get off of them, so we got to split time, and is this guy the right, or is it, like, just, I don't know, a lot of questions about it, but trying to say, hey, like, we could go from the 7 seed to the 5 seed if Philon just goes off this year. Instead, having it be like, dog, come on in, learn, grow. You've got enough talent around you and enough momentum around you that this is like an elite opportunity compared to what a lot of rookies get to be put into. So know your spot, take your opportunities to get on the court and execute. I don't know, it just feels like way, I don't want to say less pressure, because obviously he's a rookie and he's with a coach who doesn't play a ton of rookies for a ton of minutes. But I think that there's a nice little like, hey, take the summer, be the dude for a minute while you kind of dip your toes in pro basketball. And then when we get into the actual season, have him, nicely baptized to get to like at least where you need to be to start the season, before we can find out whether or not he's really got what it's made of. Isaac Johnson, the third one that I was talking about, he's a 7-footer. And some of you guys already knew him because you're college junkies and you like that West Coast late game vibe to, round out your prize picks. Some of you have never heard of him before because you have other things to do than watch those West Coast late games to get your prize picks fixed. But he's a 7-footer. These were his numbers at Hawaii his season there after transferring around a little bit. But mentioned it a couple of times. He's a 7-footer. He's a 7-footer. He's a 7-footer. He's a 7-footer. And all of you guys seem to be in agreement, whether you like Embiid or not, is that we need a big man. We need rebounding. And this would be a guy that I think is low-key a sneaky sort of, the way that I was initially talking about, like needing to come out here this summer and find like diamonds in the rough for this team to actually move in the right direction. These feel more like finishing pieces. And not to say that Isaac Johnson is geared up to be like, oh my gosh, he just comes in and dominates the league, picking up every single board, move over Wembanyama. But to find a guy who's a rookie contract, maybe have him a 2-way deal, start him in the G League. But again, like I was saying, to start, like some of these are just going to be bodies that you need to get out there. But the upside here is a guy who very clearly has both like the interior offensive and defensive presence to not just be a singular like, a one-trick pony who's going to just be like, oh, he's big, so he picks up rebounds. But no, like if he can be, obviously the gap between Embiid and everybody else is going to be big. Like I don't think there's, for all you guys that knock on Embiid in the comment section, I don't think there's any of you out there that are knocking on Embiid because he plays poorly. It's 99.999% the just overall quantity of play, or maybe even a little bit sprinkled in there of the contract versus the quantity of play. But get that the gap's going to be big, but this could be somebody for limited amount of money that we have right now. And also the limited amount of, like, you're not going to play, like, Embiid is going to play some of the season. So you're not going to play like three centers at the same time. Like, it's just a weird dynamic to try and fill a spot there, and to find a rookie who is a 7-footer that knows how to have some presence on the interior. That's what at least piques my interest for this summer. All right, those are 3 names. I'm down to talk about all of them, but I've ranted at you for plenty of time, especially since on our way out. We got to say thank you again to Prize Picks, number 1 sports pick app in America. And right now, they are going to hook you guys up. If you are a new user and you use the code DIGEST, D-I-G-E-S-T, when you are signing up, they will give you $50 when you play your first $5 in lineups. For returning users, they've got Taco Tuesdays. All Tuesday, every Tuesday, their board is serving up discounted projections, and then you can close out your week with Flex Fridays. Use your Flex Friday boost to boost your payouts by up to 40%. Code DIGEST, D-I-G-E-S-T, when you're signing up for Prize Picks, America's number 1 sportsbook app, the best way to get in on the action. All right, that's what I got for you. Appreciate you all sticking around. Sean will be back any day now, and until next time, we'll talk to you soon.